10-Minute Toughness, the mental training program for winning before the game begins, by Jason Selk. Functioning under pressure is an unwanted challenge for many of us, whether it's standing before classmates giving an oral book report, presenting our credibility packet before a group of potential investors, or preparing to kick the game-clinching field goal in the last seconds of the football game. The worst part is, it seems that no matter how much you've practiced, nothing could prepare you for this stress. But that's incorrect. The careful writing of the report, the many recitations of the speech in front of the mirror or video camera, and the hours of kicking drills, these are only the start. What about your mental toughness? Jason Selk developed a mental training program drawn from years of work and research in sports psychology. He's worked with the greats in various sports, but his training is a fit for anyone who wants to gain control over pressure and anxiety and perform their best. Performing artists, executives, and students have all benefited from his program. The 10-Minute Toughness program just takes a commitment to the belief that mental exercises are just as important as other forms of preparation, and 10 minutes a day. The 10-Minute Toughness mental workout has 5 parts that need to become part of a daily habit. Where you add them into your day is largely a matter of preference. The parts are performed in order as follows. 1. The centering breath. 2. The performance statement. 3. The personal highlight reel. 4. The identity statement. 5. The centering breath. Each part takes some time to develop, but can become automatic and effective with repetition. Put together, the workout is a powerful tool for self-management and improvement. The centering breath. Understanding how our breath connects to mind and body is both ancient and new. Today we know that nervousness accelerates the heart rate. From a scientific standpoint, the centering breath works to control the heart rate when you feel pressure or stress. While the goal is not to get it to normal, an accelerated heart rate does pump extra blood to the brain, which is a benefit. The centering breath lowers the heart rate enough to keep it from being counterproductive. The goal is under 120 beats per minute. When your heart rate is above 120 beats per minute, the mind begins to dull. A particular NFL punter used to struggle with bobbling the ball when it was snapped back to him. He needed to be in a state of arousal to perform, yet he had crossed a threshold and his over-arousal was hurting his performance. Using the centering breath and visualization immediately before the snap ended up being key to conquering the bobbling hands. So practicing centered breathing is the first and last step in the 10-minute toughness workout. Also called a diaphragm breath, it consists of drawing a breath deeply into the diaphragm for 6 seconds, holding it for 2 seconds, and releasing it over 7 seconds. If practiced daily, the centering breath becomes natural and can be used effectively in pressure situations. The performance statement. The performance statement is based on the idea that our brains talk with us throughout the day. In fact, research suggests we have an average of 60,000 private thoughts a day. Self-talk, then, shapes us more than we realize. Utilizing a concentrated, positive statement purposely is very powerful, pushing out mental clutter and focusing you on the fundamentals of performance. The performance statement is constructed to be short, positive, and focused to enhance a particular point of performance. You may devise more than one performance statement depending on the task at hand. A baseball player, for example, may have focus on it into the glove while on defense, but track the ball smooth and easy before hitting. It takes some work to zoom in on the performance point that needs a boost, and Selk gives some helpful guidance. First and foremost, never use don't statements, like don't screw this up, because they prove counterproductive. In fact, the idea of thought replacement is key. Replace negative and counterproductive thoughts with rehearsed positive statements. Selk includes worksheets in the book to help readers develop individual performance statements. The personal highlight reel. Alabama's famous and successful coach, Bear Bryant, used to show his teams films after games, not of what they did wrong, but of what they did right. Psychology backs up the practice, revealing that visualizing doing a task is a worthy practice. One study even suggesting that 1 minute of visualizing is worth 7 minutes of physical practice. Selk suggests that visualizing both yourself and someone else performing successfully is helpful, but he thinks it is key to try a different camera angle, through your own eyes. Muscle memory is especially boosted if you can visualize the successful performance with your own eyes as the camera. This practice actually allows the muscles to feel the successful performance and increases muscle memory. These reels are to be detail-oriented and brief, though running from beginning to the end of the particular task. So, for example, a basketball player would visualize the free throw from the pre-free throw routine through to the basketball dropping through the hoop. The 10-minute toughness workout actually includes 3 reels, one of past success and one of success in the next high-pressure situation. The last reel visualizes the very next performance, which will probably not be as high pressure. This keeps your visualization based in real time. Each reel should be about 60 seconds long. The identity statement. Self-image is closely related to behavior and performance. This statement reaffirms who you are and is always cast in a positive framework. The idea behind repeating it is that you cannot consistently underperform or outperform your image of yourself. The statement makes it clear who you are and what you want. Design your identity statement in 2 parts, the first being who you are or who you want to be. It is okay if you have not currently achieved what you say, or if it is an opinion statement. An example might be stating that you are the hardest worker on the team or in the office. The second part affirms a goal that you have, stated as if you have accomplished it. Selk shares his own identity statement in the book as an example. I am more motivated than my competition. I am the most effective sports psychology consultant in the world. The centering breath again. Repeating the centering breath is important for several reasons. It frames the practice and serves as a closing bookend. It also gets you ready to move on with your day. Effective visualization can actually raise the heart rate substantially. The centering breath calms the heart rate and gets you ready to proceed to your next task or engagement. While Selk is a sports psychologist and the book is clearly geared towards athletes in its examples, Selk is confident that the 10-minute toughness workout is for everybody. In fact, he has written other books that apply the basic techniques of the 10-minute toughness workout specifically for executives and professional team leaders. Whatever your vocation, pressure is certain to rear its head. Selk has a workout to help you be ready to meet the pressure head-on and succeed.